Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Jane Jawanda, and we're gonna be going over problem-solving presentations. More specifically, we're gonna be going over problem 20-10 on homework number 6 on chapter 20. This is from Cengage. So the first key concept before we hop into the question is gonna be about contribution margin, and what it is like the revenue remaining after subtracting all the variable costs associated with a product or service, meaning that so you take your variable costs, which can be like oops, it can be stuff um, like payroll and like materials. That's what variable cost is, right? And revenue is just gonna be like what you make from the product, and yeah, it kind of represents how much you have left over to cover like fixed costs such as rent, machines, and stuff like that. And it's like one of the fundamental stuff for like break even analysis because it's important to know if you want to break even and one day make a profit. And yeah, it can help determine like selling prices of a product and the profit levels, yeah, you can expect from sales. And additionally, there's something called contribution margin ratio. It's really simple. All you do is take contribution margin and divide it by revenue. And revenue, yeah, it's pretty simple, and it kind of represents it's like a ratio. So like the higher the better usually. If you have a high CMR, the better it is, because that means that you keep a large portion of your money after expenses. Versus if you have a low CMR, a lot of your costs are being eaten by variable costs, meaning that you can't really cover fixed costs, such as like rent or something. And it helps managers understand the profitability of like sales activity. So it just shows like whether it's worth it to like sell a product or not, type of thing. And now we're here at the problem where we have a situation with McDonald's. Um, we're given the sales, which represents the revenue, and we're given four different costs, which are these things. And what the question is asking us, it wants to find margin, contribution margin ratio, and the operating income if sales increase by 800 million. So for part A, it's really simple. Just find contribution margin. How we do that is that first we have to find all the variable costs, right? And it defines right here that variable costs can consist of food and paper, payroll, 25% of this, and then 40% of that, right? So you have to take these four things, and we have to solve it right here, right? And that's what it did. So you take 2,500, and you add it to 2,400 around, and then you do for occupancy, you take this number and you multiply by 0.25 to get this. Same for this, right? Multiply by 0.4 to get this, 40%. And so my total variable cost is going to be this much. And so now we know the variable cost. All you have to do is subtract it by this. So we have to do sales minus variable cost, which is going to be like 19 million. Sorry, 19,207 million minus 7,088 million, which is going to be left with this number right here, around 12.1 thousand million dollars, type of thing. And so part B, let's see, same thing. It's like find the contribution margin ratio. This is really simple. All we do is contribution margin and divide by revenue, and we take it from the previous problem. We do 12,119.6 divided by our revenue, which is right here, right? The sales, and we get this number, 0.631, which is better known as 63.1%. And yeah, that just means that for every 63.1 cents of sales, we can cover, fixed costs and stuff. So part C, really simple. All we have to do is do revenue times the contribution margin ratio, which is going to be 800 million times 0.631, and that's going to give our answer for 504.8 million. And we're kind of just solving for contribution margin because that shows like profitability. And yeah, this is the reason why it's useful, and just to help with plans, budgets, and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you.